All right, y'all. What's good? I feel like a lot has happened since the last time that I was here talking about this certain discussion. I've really been processing this, and I'm gonna try to go from like right where we left off up to now. I'm just gonna give a disclaimer and say I might be cursing a lot in this video, so if you don't like that, I am sorry. This is just straight off the top. I didn't write anything. This is just from what I can remember of all these events and really just breaking this thing down on my own. I'm not gonna pull up any lyrics. I'm not gonna break this thing down because every YouTuber in the world is doing that shit. So I'm not gonna do that. But to the people that are complaining about, oh, this thing is dragging out, or oh, like you guys are too focused on this beef, or to people that are complaining that, oh, like you're so locked in into the situation. Look, it's fine. I just gotta say this. In my point of view, the reason why I'm excited for this whole thing, for this whole situation, it's not because I like Kendrick more than Drake. It's not because Drake is losing in the battle. Sorry if anyone's a Drake fan. But I've said this before, mainstream rap specifically has been down bad, really down bad, and it's just nothing has been popping, nothing has been really interesting. And this is really giving it life. You know what I'm saying? This is making things interesting again because you got two heavyweights. Like I said, it used to be three heavyweights just going at it. And of course, people are gonna overhype it. Of course, someone like me is gonna be interested in the situation because, like I said, I haven't really been infatuated by the mainstream rap or just rap in general. And this is giving it some life. This is making people entertained. Now, that's like disregarding the context of everything that's been going on because it's like really personal now. But like I said, I want to start from after the like that shit. We got to have a discussion about J. Cole because J. Cole after this whole situation, he really just tapped out. And the thing that frustrates me as just a listener and as a fan, because like I said in the other video, I'm a fan of J. Cole. Like I do think he does some corny ass shit, but I'm a fan of his. And the only thing that bugs me is like, look, I know it felt wrong in his spirit. I'm not trying to disregard that. Like I respect it as a man that shit just wasn't sitting right and his mental and going at his boy and he didn't really believe the shit that he was saying, and I completely commend that and I respect him for that. My only thing is, like I said before, is that dude, I just, me personally, I don't want to hear him talk about he can out rap all these dudes or he can kill people, he can chop dudes heads off with his pen. Like I don't want to hear none of that shit anymore because obviously the Kendrick and Drake shit has went personal now, so that's like on another field. But he did keep it at bars, but then he deleted it. And then it was like, okay, you deleted it. You feel bad for saying what you said. But at the end of the day, like you got challenged. Basically, you got challenged. And now that you got challenged, it's like shit got too hot for you and you decided to backpedal. Like, I don't know. And to people that are saying that, oh, this looks good on J. Cole's side now, like understood why he did it. Nah, because the nigga has been saying on how many fucking features, on how many songs, on how many singles that he's dropped that he is the best rapper, which he's supposed to say that being a confident rapper, I guess. But he's been saying all these things and that anyone as a challenger, he's gonna kill them and this and that. He said it on songs like Johnny P's Caddy. He said it on his album on 95 South on the off season. He's just been saying it on numerous occasions, and it's just like I can't really take him serious now. Like it's cool to say that to Lil Pump. It's cool to say that to fucking Smoke Perp and all these other dudes. But when it's like I said, when it's a top dog, when it's someone that's in your echelon, you backpedaled. You weren't you it wasn't sitting right in your spirit. I couldn't sleep. It's like, all right, bro. So then you're dropping 7 minute drill. It was cool. It was all right. Little bars there. It was whatever. I'm not trying to sound biased, but it was cute. He deleted that shit. Then he apologized. It's just like, okay, like I said, I just broke all that shit down. But I was like, J. Cole, to me, he has to insert himself out of the big three. I am sorry to anyone that's offended, but to me, he's not a big three dude anymore. He's out. He's out of that shit. He's out of that pocket. And that don't mean somebody else is gonna be filled in there. Like, nah, it could just be a big two, and that's it. After that, here comes Drake on push-ups. Now, don't get me wrong, push-ups is a good song. Push-ups, it's not a great song, but it's a good song. And it's fun, it entertains people. He had some lines here and there, that were like sticking out. The how you big stepping with a size 7 foot on or whatever. And like, that was cool. That was funny. It was a dad joke, but it was cool. I thought that was a good song to like bait Kendrick or whoever the fuck else. He was just going at everybody that was coming at him. Now the next song that he did, the tailor-made freestyle, nah, bro. No. I'm sorry to anyone that's a Drake fan, but like that shit was not it. And disregarding the AI shit, even though that shit was corny as fuck, like, bruh, I feel like that one was the one where he was going at Kendrick the most so far, like over push-ups. And then he was kind of like baiting him to drop, drop. And that's gonna be a thing that I'm gonna connect later on in this video. But he was just saying for him to drop. And then on the end of push-ups, he was saying, drop, drop. And it's like, okay, you're baiting him to drop. Then here comes Kendrick, and he drops Euphoria. When he dropped that shit, like my phone was going crazy. I was like, what's going on? And it was like 12 p.m. or whatever. I see that Kendrick dropped, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta hear this shit. Euphoria is a great song. I don't like to rate shit. I really don't like to rate shit. I like to rank shit that's different than just rating shit one to 10 or A through F. Like I don't like doing that shit. But if I were to do it up to this point, 7 minute drill was like a five. Push-ups was like a 7 out of 10. Tailor-made freestyle was like a four, I'm gonna be honest. But Euphoria is like an eight. This is our first eight so far. The first piece of the song, the first verse was like so solid and it was smooth. And I really love the sample on there. And then second half where he just switched it up and you knew that the first half or the first part of the song wasn't going to be how it was in its entirety. But then second part comes on and you're like, okay, he's demon mode. It reminded me of like the Heart Part 4. And he referenced the Heart Part 4 where he was like, don't tell a lie on me and I won't tell the truth about you. He said the same shit on the Heart Part 4. And that song, he was literally dissing Drake as well. Now it was a lot more subtle than this one was. This one was like, I'm gonna go at you. But the difference between this song and the next one that I'm going to talk about is just like, or the next few songs I'm going to talk about, is that this one, it was a direct hit, but it was body shots. It was a combination shot. So a few jabs to the stomach. It was good. Now, the way he was rapping makes it more solid than a 7, 6, 5, whatever, because the way he pieced all this shit together and the song structure is amazing. After hearing that song, telling you, like the first day that shit dropped, I heard that shit like 6, 7 times in the day alone. I was like, this is not the headshot. This is not the haymaker. This is not the fatal blow. This is the fatality. This isn't any of that shit. This is just, like I said, this is just a combination shot. Enough about Euphoria. Euphoria is a great song, 8 out of 10. The next song is 616 AM in LA. And that song, he kind of did what Drake did in Taylor Made Freestyle, where he just leaked it or just put it on Instagram, and that's what he did, kind of just copying his same formula. A lot of people are underrating this song, but I definitely think this song was just prepping us for the next one. But this song right here, it was just bait, Taylor Made Freestyle, besides the AI shit, but it was just baiting him to like, yo, like, if you really want to do this, we can do this. So I'm just gonna add another song right here that's just gonna bait you into doing something. And the thing that makes Kendrick so brilliant, I'm not trying to dick ride him, but like he had these next couple songs that I'm gonna talk about lined up. He knew Drake's whole game plan from the jump. He knew what this dude was gonna talk about. He knew what the fuck was gonna be the play, and that's what makes this dude like such a fucking mastermind. Like he knows what you're gonna talk about. You're gonna talk about his family. You're gonna talk about his management. You're gonna talk about his team. You're gonna talk about the dirt that he had. It's not even dirt, but the shit he said on his album. He knew all those things. And in 616 AM, he was just kind of like giving a precursor, like, yo, if you want to go that route, and he did the same thing in Euphoria too, but like, if you want to go that route, we can go that fucking route. So then I think 2 days after that or something, Drake drops Family Matters. 616 Freestyle, 7 out of 10. Family Matters is an 8 out of 10. I'm gonna be honest. It's an 8 out of 10. It's a good song. I think it's on personally, I think it's on the same level as Euphoria. Not in terms of like skill wise or just rapping, like nah. But I'm just saying, like, in terms of just my entertainment, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because I thought Drake held his own on the first part of the song and the third part of the song. And the second part of the song was kind of weak. I really didn't like that shit. The bars he was saying on there were cool, but I just didn't like his flow and the beat. Like that shit was kind of whack to me. But the third part and the first part, it was solid. Like I fucked with it. And I thought Drake held his own. I thought Drake was talking his shit on there. I didn't expect him to go at his family and things like that and pull up the dirt. I don't have the lyrics in front of me. Like I said, I'm not gonna break down the lyrics like how these other YouTubers and people from Twitter and TikTok are doing. I'm not gonna do any of that. But I think he really stepped his game up from the other two songs, from Push Ups and from Tailor Made. So this song right here, Family Matters, it's good. It's really good. I really like it. That shit didn't matter because literally an hour later, this dude drops Meet the Grams. Meet the Grams, one of the most like sinister and just insane songs I've ever heard from Kendrick. That song right there, man, he how he was walking his whole family down and just kind of just writing letters. It was just so creative and so creative on Kendrick's part and the way that he did it. It was just like, this is the haymaker, bro. This is the fucking haymaker. He was talking about his dad. He was talking about his mom. He was talking about his son. He was talking about his alleged daughter. You know, whether if that's real or not, even if you remove that third verse, bro, the second verse, holy shit. The first verse where he was just saying, like, bro, like your grandfather should have had a condom, like, because Drake really isn't shit. Drake is not really a good man. He's not really a good father figure and all this shit that we know of, you know, it's alleged, like I said, but just walking him down and like walking down his whole family and telling his mom sorry, telling Drake's mom sorry for Drake existing and that Drake is the way he is because of his dad and his dad has gambling problems and you know it's just a piece of shit and that song right there was just fucking incredible, man. And then I didn't even get to the last verse. The last verse, but it was like the last verse was really like a fucking interview where he was like, "Yo, I'm talking to you as a man. I do not like you. You are not shit. I do not fuck with you. And I'm here to give you the steps to show you that you can be a better fucking person. Because this limelight that you have right now, this stardom that you have right now, yeah, no, you're always gonna be popular. You're always gonna be one of the faces of the genre for sure, one of the faces of music, period. But it's a facade, and I see right through that shit. And the way he was walking him down in that last verse was just look. You already know where I stand. I'm not trying to be biased. I don't know. Even to this day, I don't know what Drake has to offer that's gonna be better than that song. Like I said, that song is just fucking incredible. It was a masterpiece. Another thing that I gotta say after this, right? Me, I just never came from the cloth, growing up from the cloth, but just like when I hear this track, I want to dance. That's not my first thought whenever I hear this song. Like the point of it, this song is to be disrespectful. You know, it's literally in the name, this. It's literally to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to do a TikTok dance or trying to fucking be at the club listening to like, nah. So I think now if we were to talk, just disassociate from the songs real quick that we heard, I think the scheme that kind of Drake had was he was trying to Meek Mill him and trying to do a song that can just fit the narrative of being a part of a club and just like where Kendrick or whoever the fuck his entourage, whoever have no choice but to hear that shit no matter where the fuck they go. And I think that shit to me is fucking hilarious because like I don't think you're gonna off Kendrick like that. I don't think you're gonna beat Kendrick like that. Now it could still be a popular song, and you know you could probably back to back him. You know it is what it is. You could probably do that. Is it gonna hurt him? I'm not sure. I'm not gonna go to the allegations and stuff like that with the pedo and stuff. I'm not gonna break any of that down because we do not know. People can look it up. I'm not going to talk about something if there's not facts behind it 100%. Even with the whole Kendrick beating his wife, I'm not going to talk about that either because all that shit is just alleged. So I'm not going to break any of that shit down. I'm just talking about the music and just kind of like the game plan behind it. So it's funny how I said all those things about Drake, about how he kind of thought that he can just make another back-to-back song to try to dethrone Kendrick or do like defeat what he's doing right now. And then K Dot literally said, nah, hold my beer. And then he drops Not Like Us, which Not Like Us is, as of right now, the number one song in the country, in the world, and rightfully so, because that song is a fucking slapper. And he kind of just reiterated what he was saying on Meet the Grams. He was reiterating that and kind of making it into like a jam, a West Coast jam, and making it super poppy and catchy. And like he did what Drake was planning to do. And I thought that shit was just so I thought that shit was just so creative. And I think that it was just a brilliant angle that Kendrick came out of and was just like, yo, I think everything that you're saying is cute. And it's all allegations and this and that. Even though he's saying some allegations, we don't really have the receipts. We both need receipts. We need receipts for the both of you, which is completely fair. So I'm not gonna break that down. But that's just fucking insane to me. Like it's fucking insane to me. He pulled a Drake on Drake. Kendrick did what Drake did, and I think that's the angle where it's hurting Drake the most. It's like, damn, he pulled a me on me. Fuck the song and the content for a second. It's just like he pulled my strategy on me. So the next day, Drake drops the Heart Part 6. And don't get me wrong, Heart Part 6 is not a bad song. Oh, I forgot to mention, I forgot to do the ratings system for the tracks that I talked about. So Family Matters, like I said, I'll give it an 8. Meet the Grams, no dick eating shit. That shit is a masterpiece. I'll give it a fucking 10 out of 10. That was a perfect fucking song. Not Like Us, I'll give it another 8. I'll give it an 8. That song is really good too. The Heart Part 6, I'll give it a 7. I thought it was solid. I think it's getting overhated right now, but the reason why it's getting overhated is not because of the content. Well, kind of because of the content, but it's really like you can tell that Drake is kind of playing defense mode and he's kind of over this beef shit now. He kind of says like, "Oh, talk to me when we have facts on the table and I'll see you later," and putting a stamp on it that it's done, the situation is over, which I don't know, just as of today, as of Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. That's what it sounds like to me, that he's just kind of putting a stamp and just kind of saying it's done. I could be wrong though. But the song, it's not a bad song. My biggest issue with Drake, just to cut to the chase, is like he talks a lot of shit, throwing rocks and then hiding your hand. I don't like none of that shit. Because how can you, and this is going back to what I was saying earlier, Taylor made and on push-ups, drop. Like he was doing that shit. And on Family Matters, he was doing that too, because that was a part of the end of push-ups. So yeah, essentially on all three songs that he was doing before this one, he was doing the drop, just kind of baiting the drop. And then now at the end of this song, you're basically saying, "Oh, I know you." What did he say? He said something along the lines of like, "I know you got like 10 more songs on the way or whatever," and just kind of clowning him for like putting all the effort and the work to put him on wax and destroy him and destroy his character. But you actually asked for this. You asked for this. Last thing I'll say about this, because this video is running long and I've been talking for a long time. But the last thing I'll say is like to talk about the allegations for a quick second. How can Drake say that he leaked false information to Kendrick and his team or his entourage, whatever the fuck the case may be, right? Before that, though, he was like, "Oh, whoever you is a rat on my squad or whatever, like they're cowards or they're dumb or whoever told you that information is dumb, or whatever." But then on this song, on the Heart Part 6, you're gonna say, and even on Family Matters to a certain extent, you're gonna say that we leaked you that information. But then you said whoever leaked you that information is fucking stupid. So I don't understand that. But here's my angle. Besides that, my whole thing is where I'm questioning is like, why is Drake gonna be like, that shit is just fake? We gave you fake news and blah blah, we leaked fake dirt or whatever the case may be. So why would the fake dirt that you are giving to Kendrick or his team, whatever the fuck, why would it be veto allegations or you allegedly having another kid? I just don't get it. You having a daughter and you being with little girls, like, why would you? Because that's really Kendrick's main thing that he's talking about. He made a whole song about that shit with Not Like Us, and then Meet the Grams breaking down your whole family. So it was like, why would that be something that you would give to Kendrick for fake dirt? If I was Drake, that would be the last thing on my like that's like the bottom thing that I'll ever discuss. And also, you're gonna see here and say we leaked fake dirt, but then your instant reaction after hearing Meet the Grams is like, these dudes are in shambles. Ha ha, another daughter? What the fuck? Give me the receipts. There's no way you have an instant reaction like that if you leaked fake information. Like, bro, we're not stupid. At least I'm not fucking stupid. I see right through the bullshit, which is essentially what Kendrick is fucking saying and doing. He knew your whole game plan, your whole scheme going into the situation, and you lost. Drake lost. I'm sorry to Drake fans. I'm a Drake fan myself, but he lost. And what's done, it's done. And that's all I really have to say. I think that's the whole timeline of this whole situation. Not from like the past 10 years, but just from the past month and a half, 2 months, whatever the case may be. I think that's how everything has been situated. And I kind of put my own opinion, my own spin on it. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for tapping in. I will have more reviews and things of that nature coming in. If y'all really like these discussions or whatever, give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm here. I'm a Kendrick fan. I'm a Drake fan. I'm not trying to be super biased. You know, they're both talented, and we could let two kings coexist. So I'm going to see y'all later. I'll talk to y'all in the next video. So I'm out. Peace.